Hey everyone, it's me, Life Spiller, back for another video. And guess who I have with me? Long time no see. Well, anyway, I wanted to do a video where I get interviewed. I haven't been interviewed in a while. I don't really have that many interviews on my channel, and so I decided. I said, well, let me. My wife and I actually have been talking about this for a few months now. It's just that our schedules, time, stuff like that usually is a conflict, so usually that gets in the way. So that's why I'm like. But anyway, I told her to go ahead and come up with a list of questions, and then we're gonna get right down to it. Told her to ask anything she wanted to, whatever. All right, so she's got a bunch of questions that she wants to ask me. I'm gonna go ahead and let her ask all the questions that she wants.
Okay, so hi everybody. I compiled some questions to ask him, and you know, it's kind of fun being on the camera with him because we haven't done this in forever. We used to do radio together, and so it's always fun. But anyway, so I'm gonna ask him these questions. There's four, and he told me to ask whatever, so they're all random. And it mixed a little bit of what he loves, which is video games, and a little bit of what I love, which is to talk about relationships, since I am a relationship life coach. So had to throw that in there because I love talking about relationships. So anyway, my first question is, do you have any life regrets?
Life regrets. That's a good question. I was thinking about that the other day. I was thinking about how do we regret certain things that happen in our life that have made such a dramatic effect, or not necessarily a dramatic effect, or I guess more of a plays such a big role in our lives. I guess for me, no, I don't really have any regrets because everything that, and it almost sounds like a cliche response, but for me, I would say no because it's brought me to the point where I'm at now. So when I think about all the stuff that I've been through, the decisions that I've made, now would I have made different decisions? Yes, I definitely would have done that. But I think that's only with hindsight, with wisdom and time, that you're able to do something like that. You're able to look back on your mistakes, because now I'm getting really close to my 40s. I can look at my 20s and just laugh at it because I'm like, wow, how dumb was I at that time? Versus my 30s, where I'm transitioning more of wisdom. Now that I'm 37, getting closer to 40, I can see myself making better decisions. So, no, I don't really live with a lot of regrets.
Okay. That's good. My next question is about video games. So I was trying to throw something in there that I figured you would enjoy answering. So anyway, this one, it says, if you could create a video game, what type would it be, and what would be the quest in the game?
That's another good question. Yeah, she thought about these questions, even though it's well, let's see. Since I am a retro gamer, I guess if I'm thinking at the spur of the moment, because just so you guys know, I have not been prepared for any of these questions. Much like my show, when I record or when I'm doing questions or when I'm coming up with topics, I do everything at the spur of the moment. So when she came up with these questions, I'm literally answering these questions according to the time that the questions she's just asking me out now. So I'm hearing these for the first time.
Yeah.
But because I am a retro guy, if I'm going to think about what kind of game I would want or what kind of game I would like to see, it would be something of my favorite genre. And my favorite genre is side-scroller, platformer, because it's got the old school 2D retro side-scroll type feel to it. So it would have to be something like that. And of course, the character, I feel like, would have to have some of my attributes, some of my characteristics, look somewhat similar like me.
Like your avatar?
Yeah, or just like me, it would become my avatar or my character and stuff like that. Just as she even asked that question, I'm already thinking about all the possibilities of everything that could occur or whatever. It would definitely have to have some adventure, a great storyline. Maybe even include some of the buddies that I've met or that I know about along the way. They would be incorporated to the story somehow or whatever. So that's just like the beginning stages of it.
So, but what would the quest be like? What would the game be like? What if you
I think mine's because I
what would
am
be the
so
goal?
fascinated. I would say that because I am so fascinated with fiction or science in outer space, it would have to be in another planet. It wouldn't. It couldn't be in Earth because I want to expand. So my thing is, whenever somebody play, if it was my video game, it would have to be somebody that would have to be blown away. You know, that's what video games are about. They're about blowing us away, taking us to endless possibilities of what could occur or what could happen and stuff like that. So we could probably start out on planet Earth, but then I could be the captain or whatever, and we could end up on some other planet, venture out.
trying to do what though? What do you think would be?
I don't know.
Because you play that one game that you like that it was a story about him trying to find his family or something.
Oh, you talking about Kratos? You talking about
No, not that one. The other one where it's like a storyline where he's his family or somebody dies, and is it Max Payne or something? I was thinking
that? Oh,
like
that was when his family got murdered at the beginning.
right,
of the
and they
game.
go on this whole
Yeah.
journey. So
It-
I
it
don't
would
know.
be-
For some reason,
it's-
I picture something like that to
Well,
be.
yeah,
what you-
it's the thing is, it just got a lot of roads to it. That's a broad question, so it's
Yeah.
not like, oh, okay, I can just say this, this, and that. But I know for sure it would be a 2D retro pixelated side scroller game with a great storyline. Somewhat of my life incorporated into it, and then some of the people that I've met online and other buddies and stuff like that. I think their characters would be in the game as well. So yeah, but it wouldn't be on this planet. So
Okay, well, that's cool. You thought about that one, huh, before?
well, no, this is just a spur of the moment. I never thought about having my own game.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, question number 3. What is the most challenging thing about being in a relationship? Switching up subjects here.
What's the most challenging thing about being in a relationship? The compromise. Being able to give up a part of yourself for that person, which means for me, being such a secluded person at times and being so into myself and into my own world, I still have to realize that I have to make time for us. And I think that's where the big misconception happens, where a lot of people think that gamers don't have time to spend with their spouses and all they want to do is game and be online all the time. And I think so for me, that would be the biggest thing, is compromise, giving up a part of my time to my spouse and saying, oh, okay, just like prime example, we went out tonight and we watched 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
The movie was pretty
Pretty
good.
good.
I'll probably talk about it in another video or something like that. But yet again, it just goes back to, there are times where there's things that I don't want to do, but I know it's something she loves doing and vice versa. So really it's just a compromise, making sure that we meet each other's needs. And I think the same goes for other people in other relationships, whether it's just girlfriend and boyfriend or whatever, sexual orientation, whatever you want to call it, just to cover all bases. Just as long as you make sure that you're not being selfish in the relationship and that you are taking consideration that, hey, I'm in a relationship with this girl, or I'm in a relationship with this guy or whatever, and I realize that I gotta devote time to them as well. So I've always tried to make sure I separate the two, my gaming life, because she's not really into games. I am. I mean, I'm hardcore into it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Hell, I got a channel, so that's big telltale sign.
Yeah. Okay. You answered that very well. I was looking at you with my good eye, like, how is he going to answer that one? Okay, number 4. And this is the last question. This is just a fun one. I said, if you had $1 million, how would you choose to spend it?
I thought about that one. $1 million, the way it would go down is that I would knock out or eliminate all my debt. Student loan stuff. Taking care of all the big stuff, eliminating all our personal debt or whatever the case may be. I would store some of that money away, put it in the savings. I know it sounds so boring, but then take part of the money and go travel to places, countries that we've always wanted to go. She knows that I've been wanting to go to Italy. I even want to go to Africa, Japan. I mean, there's a lot of other countries that I want to go to, that will be fun just to be able to venture. There's plenty of states that I want to go to within the USA or whatever, or US or whatever you want to call it. But and pretty much go buy stuff that I've been wanting. I mean, I think for me, when it comes to money, I'm not as big on money as most people would think one person would be, but I'm really not. I'm not that hell bent on being rich or having all this money. I just like financial security. I like the fact that knowing that if we got things that would need to be taken care of, I don't have to really think about it. We can just go ahead and do it. But I still like the daily grind of getting up, going to work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I like that sensibility. I like that accountability that I get to invest myself in. Especially with the fact that I'm doing my career. I went to school to work on computers. I'm working on computers. Plus, I get to work on video games. I got the YouTube channel. So my life in itself, I got a great wife and a son and all that. And, everything is good. So I'm full, just like Buddha. Just like the representation of being full of life and your existence and everything around you. I make sure I keep the right circle of people around me. So money, it just creates options. That's all.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, because I think I asked you in the last video. Now, there's been like 2 years, I think, since we shot that last video. And now, what do you think?
It's actually been longer than 2 years.
It's been 2 years. It's about 2 years or something like that. The time
we did that in the old house, right? Has it been only 2 years? Yeah, that was
yeah, it's just 2 years. Okay. You had just barely got your hair cut. It was the first time before you. What was crazy is that she got her hair cut the next day after that video. Like, if you look at that video, Married to a Gamer, she had long hair. The next day, she cut her hair off. So, yeah.
That's how I express myself.
That's how she expresses
through hair and makeup.
But to stay focused on things, so I don't have to do a lot of editing, and I can just focus in on stuff. When I guess the question I really wanted to ask, what do you think of the YouTube channel now versus what you thought of it then? Because I know you've had your own personal ideas about it and stuff like that. What does this all mean? So I guess I should ask, how do you feel about it now? How do you feel about it now versus how you felt about it then? Like, do you understand it now, or do you get it, or I don't know.
It's never that I didn't get it.
No. I don't mean get it. Like I said, that yet again. That's why I say it's hard to articulate what you really want to say to somebody, because up in here I got it rambling.
Do I see the purpose more of it now?
I guess.
Is that what you?
I guess so.
I don't know. I guess I feel this.
Well,
I don't really feel very different. I think it's awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Well, how do you feel about the channel just in general?
Well, I'm really proud, and I'm glad I do get to share this with everybody, but I'm very proud of how far you've come on the channel. You know, I mean, the amount of subscribers that you have now versus when you first started out, the growth that has happened shows how much dedication he puts into it, because I watch him, really grind with this channel, put, all the work that he puts into it and stuff like that, and coming up with the ideas and stuff, and I'm really proud of him for having the channel for so long. It's been 4 years. So
almost 4 years.
Yeah. So I don't really feel any kind of way. It's your thing. So
it's funny because you and I talk about this all the time. We talk about the channel. We talk about the channel all the time. Just so you guys know. We go back and forth about ideas, because I get inspiration from everyday life. Like, I'm having conversations with people on the phone, on Skype, online, whatever, or I'm just talking to her, or I'm talking to buddies, people at work, whatever it may be. That's where I get my inspiration from. But I guess the thing is, I think it's something else because she told me something that even ignited the fire that much more. And she said, just like she's saying she's proud, but she also said, I see that, it takes a lot to get up and do this all the time, every week. And she's like, I'll be honest, I probably would have tapped out of this thing a long time ago.
Yeah.
Not because of the views, not because of the subscribers, just because of having to be dedicated to something. And I think that's the power of being just like I was talking about the other video, that's the power of being an introvert. We can thrive in our own lane. We don't need captains, we don't need roads. Whereas see, she's an extrovert. She's got many things always on her plate. Somebody's always needing her because she's, like she said, she deals with relationships, she deals with children, she deals with decorating, she deals with party planning. She can do a little bit of everything. There's just like a whole lot that goes on with her. So to be dedicated to one thing is too much. That's like, okay, you're basically making me not utilize all my skills. Whereas I get to utilize my skills at work and on this channel, and I get to talk with people and help folks out and stuff like that. So,
and because it's also it takes a lot of discipline to do what you've done for so long.
Yeah.
Because we did radio together, and
we did it for like a year.
It was almost a year, and it was pretty. It was interesting because I've always wanted to have my own talk show. Since I was a little girl, I grew up watching Oprah and like thinking I would be like Oprah one day and have my own show. But anyway, something I enjoy doing, talking about subjects and stuff like that. So when we got in radio, it was very interesting because we just ended up getting the opportunity to have our own show. It was supposed to be me originally just kind of interviewing people, but then it turned into actually having a slot on the radio, and it was an internet radio show. But we actually had a internet radio show where it was talk radio, and very, very cool, awesome experience, life-changing experience. But I didn't realize going in how much people put into being a radio personality. Like it's not just you getting on air for that 2 or 3 hours that you do the show, or some cases like 1 hour or however long.
Yeah, so we would have to get the people to interview. Mm-hmm. I did the editing of the show and the radio and the uploading to the show and all that, and we would put our heads together for the ideas of the show. So we had to break things down in segments, make sure we put music in the right slots.
Have material to talk about, and so it was very challenging. So for him to do this for 4 years is just very commendable. And I tell him all the time, that I'm so proud of him, of how long he has kept this thing going and how many people he's kept interested. And, there has been times where we went out and, people know who Lifespiller is, and it's funny to me because it's like I'm married to a celebrity or something. We go out and, a kid will come up and it's like, oh, that's Lifespiller, or I met a lady at work that actually has been following his channel for quite some time, and I didn't even know, so it's pretty amazing, and it just shows his efforts has meant something. So I don't really feel different about it because I never really felt, any kind of way necessarily about it to begin with.
I know you didn't have no ill will. It's just that I think it's, and a lot of what a lot of people have said, and I thought this was funny, is that, and I know I myself, I'm guilty of doing this, is that I didn't really talk about the channel until it started to take off. Like, I started to get, when I had like a few hundred subscribers, I didn't really talk much about it. I might have mumbled it to a few people, like, yeah, I got a channel. But once I cracked over 900, and then I went to 1,000, and I'm closing in on 1,100 already. That's when I really started talking about it. So now but I think also this channel, and I tell people this constantly, and I talk about it in the videos, is that my confidence has gone up versus the first video versus this video. It's different. I feel different. I act different. I think different, and I live different. But
And that's the funny thing too, because I'm supposedly the extrovert, and I'm the one that gets anxiety when it's time to come in front of the camera because he does it all the time. So he's like, calm down.
she likes
And
things systematically done. Whereas I just like to come up with a topic and then turn the camera on, and that's it. That's all. But sometimes I realize that ain't always good because I do get my thoughts all jobbled up, and there have probably been times where I've been like double talking, going blah, 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 or said the same thing twice, probably like 5 minutes from the last time I said it. But anyway, this video is probably going to run a little bit long. I'm going to edit as much as I can, but I want to squeeze in the good parts. It's just something that I wanted to do. It's something that she talked about doing. We just found the right time because we are very, very, very busy people. And
yeah,
we got a lot planned in the next month. But as far as the channel goes, I got a lot planned. I'm definitely going to be doing podcasts. I don't know how many. Podcasts are hard to do, but video-wise, I'm trying to look to moving up to 3 videos a week. What I do is I just do a backlog. I have a backlog of videos stored up, and I just grind out a bunch of videos in a certain amount of days or whatever. So, but other than that, tell me how your life is as a gamer. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. If you got questions for her, leave her questions, and then we'll regrind on that. Hopefully we can get her on a little bit sooner than 2 years. I know it's always harder to get the spouse on. It's a different thing. So, and I just wanted to flip it this time. All right, other than that, I'm Light Spiller. I'm out.